Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. Your boy Wildcard Mario in the building. It's episode 319 of the I.O.W. Sports Show. I got two special guests joining me. We going to talk Commanders. We going to talk Dolphins. Free agency is getting underway and it's getting crazy out here in these NFL streets. We'll discuss that as well as what are those going to be the strategies of the Commanders and the Dolphins upcoming draft. Hey, we discuss it all. Holla. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, you heard what I said on the intro. It's your boy Wildcard Mar. We are tuning into another episode I.O.W. Sports Show. It's episode 319. And yo, I am excited because I got a dope show lined up for you guys today. I mean, as you see, NFL free agency is getting popping out here. It's hotter than fish grease. Shit's getting crazy out here in these NFL streets. But we're going to talk about two specific teams because I got two special guests joining me today. We're going to talk Dolphins. We're going to talk Commanders. And like I said, I'm excited, y'all. Joining the show again. He's been on here numerous times. My brother from another, and I don't know how he's feeling about his team down in the nation's capital. They kind of being funny with the money. But we'll discuss it. Hey, Couch Coach, what's up, pimp?
What's going on, man? Hey, we're here. Great all seasons thus far. We ain't been spending all the money, but we got all the money, but we ain't been going too heavy with the spending. But we're good though. We're good.
Yeah. Daniel Snyder kind of been messing up y'all money. Y'all been paying more than actually spending it on play. Never mind. That's another conversation another day. Hey, Couch Coach. Hey, man, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you at, my dog.
Yes, indeed. Check me out on my podcast, Couch Coach Live. Check that out we'll start back on Wednesday, starting on the 20th of March, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Website, couchcoachlive.com, and social media everywhere, Couch Coach Live.
No doubt. And our next guest, I've been trying to collab with this guy for a minute. I've been watching his content from afar, been loving what he's doing. Hey, the original Yankee fan himself. We got Johnny Cruz in the building. What's up, dog?
What is going on, gentlemen? I appreciate you having me on, man.
No doubt. I appreciate you joining on. Hey, go ahead, Johnny. Tell the people where they can find all your content at, my brother.
You can find me all over the Let's Talk Sports Network. I got Aqua and Orange Insights, where I talk all things Miami Dolphins, and there's plenty to talk about tonight. Yeah. I also got Pinstripe Perspective, which is a Yankee show, and then, of course, the network show, the Let's Talk Sports Network, every Monday and Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
No doubt. Hey, and before we get started, man, RIP to our brother Dave Harris, man, a great dude. He was phenomenal with putting a lot of people together content-wise. Man, I'm going to miss that guy, man. So RIP Dave Harris. Yes. Before we get too deep into it, Johnny, I got to ask you, man, a spring training, full swing, you know what I'm saying? Baseball around the corner. Hey, we got to talk about it, baby. How you feeling about your boys in the pinstripes, man? How you feeling?
Well, I was feeling good until Aaron Boone's press conference when he mentioned that Garrett Cole is getting his elbow checked. So that's never a good sign there. But, I mean, we got Juan Soto for this season. We'll see what happens after in the off season here. But I'm excited about the team. I'm excited about the potential. Like I said, hopefully this Garrett Cole thing isn't as big of a worry as a lot of Yankee fans are tripping out about. But we'll find out in the next couple of days what's going on with him. But I'm excited about this baseball season.
No doubt. I'm a Royals fan. We made a couple of moves, so we'll see what happens. Look, I'll wait till September to see if they are in contention before I get excited about my Royals. So, and then Couch, I know you Nationals, y'all ain't doing too much. So, I mean, it ain't too much to talk about baseball.
Hey, they got that chip a couple years ago, though. So
yeah, yeah, no doubt. All right, so we are here to talk football, fellas, and free agency is getting underway. But before we do, Couch Coach, kind of give the viewers, the audience, kind of sum up the 2023-2024 Washington Commanders NFL season, man. What's up? What happened, man?
It was a horrible season. I mean, I'm usually a positive guy, but it was one of the worst seasons we've had in at least in the last 5 years. You just look at this everything. It was so much optimism and hope. It started early. We was 2-0 start the season, and then ever since we haven't won a game since November the 5th. So it just went downhill. It's just it's just one of those things where even stuff off the field, obviously with the having Harris, Mr. Harris now running the team now, and you look at that as a possibility, and you look at like the situations where we had sellouts every game until to a point where the opposite fans towards the tail end of the season was grabbing most of those tickets. But there was some optimism. But at the end, it was a bad season. It was everything that could have went wrong in this football season went wrong for the Washington Commanders.
Damn, man. It's always a damn shame when the visiting opposing team got more noise than the home team. It's never good. That ain't never good, man. So, Johnny, man, same question, man. Kind of give us a breakdown for the viewers, the listeners, the 2023-2024 Miami's Dolphins season and how that ended up.
Well, I mean, it was a fun season as far as the offense. We put up a lot of points, broke a lot of Dolphin records offensively with touchdowns and yardage and stuff like that too. Threw for a bunch of yardage. Mm-hmm. But it was a tale of going 10-0 against non-playoff teams and 1-6 against playoff teams. Mm-hmm. So that pretty much says it. They had a good season. Won a lot of games, but like I said, put up a lot of points. It was a lot of fun considering the last 20 plus years as a Dolphin fan. It was hard to watch them offensively because we couldn't do much offensively. So it was a fun season in that sense, but December and January was pretty bad. They fell apart in the end of the season, and then as you saw, they went into Kansas City and basically just pooped the bed and couldn't do anything in Kansas City, and that's how the season just kind of flamed out for them.
Yeah, kind of. Dolphins, the Mahi didn't get a chance to thaw out in Kansas City. It still stayed frozen. So.
No, it did not. People are losing digits and stuff. That's how cold it was over there, bro.
Yeah, man. Look, I was not going to that game. I refused to go to the game. I stayed at the house. I made sure that I stayed bundled up. Had the heat on. I had the heat on hell. Matter of fact, I was like, man, keep it. Man, it was so cold out there. The dog, when he had to walk, I was like, all right, do what you got to do, and we going right back inside, make it quick. He even knew what was up. My dog understood the assignment. He pissed his shit in record time, and he said, gotta go. Yeah, gotta go. So, yeah. So let's jump into free agency. Coming off 11-6 season down there in Miami. Man, Johnny, man, free agency gets off, and Christian Wilkins already signs a big-ass deal with the Raiders, man. How you feeling about that right now, man?
Well, I mean, I'm one of the Dolphin fans that actually saw this coming. Mm-hmm. A lot of Dolphin fans were hopeful that we can keep him in-house, especially when they didn't put the tag on him. They figured, oh, well, there's got to be some kind of a deal going on. But Christian was all about getting paid. He wanted to be paid as one of the top 2 or 3 defensive tackles in football. And he got that from the Raiders. And I love Christian Wilkins. I love the type of player he is. I love the motor. I love his leadership. Yeah. But he is not a top 2 or 3 defensive tackle in football. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Really, really good player, really good against the run. The biggest issue they had with him, going into this last season was that he wasn't getting enough sacks. So he focused on getting a bunch of sacks this year, and his other numbers went down. So in my opinion, it was he did what he had to do this season to kind of change that narrative as far as the sacks. But again, I love the kid, and I think he's a really, really good player, but he is not Chris Jones. He is not, you know what I'm saying? He's not Quentin Williams. He's not that dude. He's not a game changer at the defensive tackle position. So if you're going to pay a defensive tackle $20+ million, he needs to affect the game. And Christian, who's a solid player, he just doesn't do that. So I'm not taking it as badly as a lot of Dolphins fans, including my 2 co-hosts, who I'm going to have to talk off a ledge at 7:30 tonight.
No doubt. Hey, Detroit man, what's up, man?
What up, though, man?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, man. Hey, man. I had to put out an APB out on you. I had to put out the searching team for you, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. That loss to San Francisco NFC Championship game been that bad, dog?
It's been a lot of stuff going on. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man. I was like, damn. I know you were sad about the loss, but damn, man. I was like, man, we gonna have to call what's his name that does the show to find the missing people, John. We're gonna have to.
Oh,
look, they don't put people on milk carts no more, do they? Yeah, John Walsh.
John Walsh. John Walsh. Right?
Nah, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. So let's follow up with obviously Christian Wilkins moves on. What y'all gonna do about Tua? I mean, it's about time to pay him, man.
Well, I mean, I've been on the record for a while now saying that if I was Chris Greer in the front office, I would make him play out his 5th-year option. I like Tua. I like his potential. He's got some good traits. He's really accurate. He's got good pocket presence. Really smart kid. He's definitely somebody that represents the organization well. So that's somebody that you don't have to worry about him getting in trouble or anything like that off the field. He's going to be in there early studying, and he's developing, but he ain't there yet. Like I mentioned earlier, 1-6 against playoff teams. He had opportunities in December and January to win big games that could have clinched the division, clinched some home field playoff games, and he didn't come through in those games. So I wouldn't give him the money. I would make him play his 5th-year option. Yes, the word going into this season was him staying healthy. Hey, he did a great job of thickening up and staying healthy the whole season, but I'm all about winning in the clutch, and there were some clutch games that he just didn't come through. So I would make him play his 5th-year option, but the organization loves this kid. Chris Greer loves this kid, so he is going to get that bag. I don't see him getting, top. He's not going to reset the market, in my opinion. I don't think so. But he's gonna get that bag. So Dolphin fans, prepare yourselves.
Prepare yourself.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. What's up, Cass? How you doing? I know that's you back there, man. Hey, who they? Yeah, shout out to them Saints fans down there. Couch, man, talk to us, man. What y'all gonna do in free agency, man? Y'all got the money to spend, but all these people getting signed, I ain't seen a lot of people going to Washington. I just saw that you guys lost Antonio Gibson. So, man, talk to us, man. What's going on down there in the nation's capital during this free agency spending frenzy going on?
Yeah, and like today was the sexy acquirers of talent, but we got some solid pickups today. We also we got a guy in Durance Armstrong. He's actually from Dallas. You look at his production last year; he only played 42% of the production on the defensive snaps, and he's able to get 7.5 sacks last year, which, if he comes to us, he would have been our leading sack guy. So you look at that. So I mean, hey, but it's the truth, and I think you look at that. That's a solid acquisition, and obviously he'll fill that void. Obviously with losing Chase and Montez on Halloween, he'll fill one end of the spectrum of the edge, and then you bring in the guy Tyler Badass. He's a reliable center, and he was also another Dallas Cowboy, which obviously fits with Dan Quinn. And you think to yourself, like, that shows you the nature of Dan Quinn and how everybody loves Dan Quinn. So he brings in Tyler as well. He's a reliable center. He has 0 false starts. So I understand. Yes, we have that all that cap space. This is, think about it. This isn't the, Vinny Serrato days. This isn't the Daniel Snyder days. We're not signing Albert Haynesworth. We're not signing Deion Sanders or Jeff George, of those elk and all that. So I think they are just making some solid choices. And, I think it's almost going to be indicative of kind of how San Francisco has done in the past, where they've got little small intricate pieces to the big puzzle. So just expect that. Obviously, now with Adam Peters taking over the reins in Washington, these 2 acquisitions have been solid, and I understand like people saying, we didn't get like as far as the sexy names like Saquon Barkley's of the world, Christian Wilkins that we just talked about earlier. We don't have all like the big splash free agent acquisitions, but I think these are 2 solid ones, and I think they even said all the acquisitions they were going to keep close to the vest until Wednesday. So I still think some stuff could potentially happen between now and the official start of League New Year. I know this is the tampering, the legal tampering portion of it, but yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I need a lot of the people who aren't familiar with covering NFL football. This is just legal tampering. That you can do. Like, unless you re-sign with the team you played for last year, you're pretty much just agreeing in agreement to it. There's time that somebody can come in, they can outbid the team that you got an agreement with, and you can change your mind. This is the chance that you can do that. So it's just in an agreement. Like we see Kirk Cousins get the Atlanta Falcons deal. I was actually surprised about that. Whoa. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it? Biatch?
Yeah.
So it's just a fancy word of saying bitch. Oh, okay. Right. I mean that's what I got.
That's what I got, man.
Yeah, that's a fancy way of saying bitch.
I love to be the announcer when he get. There go biatch. Get the ball, biatch. Get
the ball. But yeah, man. We've seen stranger things in previous years in this quote unquote legal tampering period, that people have changed their minds and kind of spurs a couple teams. So I mean, you until the 13th, which is like Couch said, until Wednesday, is nothing's official. Nothing is not official. But I will say this, man, it's the numbers are getting crazy out here. What these players are getting. I was surprised that Aaron Jones is about to be released, so there's a good running back about to be out of a job. He instantly gets replaced by Josh Jacobs, so I was actually kind of stunned by that. Xavier McKinney goes from the Giants. He gets a deal from Green Bay. I mean, numbers are flying. And like, I've been checking my phone every 5 minutes. I keep getting alerts because somebody else signing it somewhere or agreeing to terms somewhere else. Mel, jump in here if you got any questions for either Johnny Cruz on the Dolphins or Couch Coach for the Commanders, man. Jump in here real quick, man.
I guess start with the Commanders, man. Do you really feel good about this season? Because I'm on the outside looking in. Yeah, I'm on the outside looking in. And as a person outside looking in, I'm not in that area, so I don't see all the ins and outs. But it still look good for your team. You know what I mean? And I don't see. And I'm not trying to be. I'm really not trying to be funny. I'm just saying from a person looking outside in, it looks like it'd be a couple of years before they actually start picking it up and being competitive in their division. How do you feel as a fan?
I mean, you look at last season. I think last season you think of 4-13, it's almost like it can't get no worse. So you look at now you bringing in like a guy like a Dan Quinn. You obviously with Joe Witt Jr. as the defense coordinator. This team can turn around real quick. I definitely think having those guys in place. Joe Witt Jr. I think he'll if we get the right piece together, this could be an opportunistic defense, almost similar like to Dallas, where you looked at where Stephon Diggs, not Stephon, oh Lord, the other Trayvon Diggs, he was out, and then Bland came in and it had a spectacular season. So I definitely think it could be a situation like that. And I definitely think it's going to be a lot better. And then obviously bringing in like a Cliff Kingsbury. And you think to yourself, you got 3 head coaches, obviously Dan Quinn, was a former head coach. Then also Dan Quinn, not Dan Quinn, we're talking about Dan Quinn. Then we talked about Kingsbury, and then you also get Anthony Lynn there as running backs coach. So I don't think we're going to take, like the Detroit Lions leap in a sense. Like I don't think we're going to be in an NFC Championship game or what have you. But I think we will be a team that will be competitive in the NFC East and could potentially be playing meaningful football in December. So I definitely think there is a optimism for this team because at 4-13, I honestly don't think this team get as bad as as last year.
Hey, Couch,
I get this though. They had Philly number.
hey, 0-17 is worse. Trust me.
Yeah, but with the personnel, that we got,
experience.
Yeah. The personnel we got, we can,
Hey man, hey, I know you got the optimism that it can't get no worse. Be careful now. Hey. Well, here's my only cause for concern about the coaching, and I had to agree with our man Flo. Shout out to Bottom Line Sports. I love Dan Quinn as a D coordinator. Mm-hmm. Now, head coaching, we saw what happened with the Falcons. It was kind of a little shaky. You had a Super Bowl in your hand. And you kind of coached your way out of it. And then he did well as his Seahawks D coordinator. And did well as Dallas D coordinator, albeit he had some talent on both squads when he was D coordinator. Had some talent to work with as a DC. That concerns me a little bit. And I got to throw it out there. Kingsbury, he didn't have that great of a head coaching debut in Arizona. I'm kind of
Yeah, I hear you on that. But sometimes that roster in Arizona and the way they had a lot of dysfunction.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of coaches would have did well there because of that dysfunction. Now, I'm not saying that Kingsbury is all that great either, but I'm just saying they give him a little break and say that roster was very dysfunctional.
Hey, at least his house was fly.
And to your point, Mar, I think when I listened to Dan Quinn's presser, he said, as far as he's learned now to more so be able to be in a position to delegate some of these tasks. So he learned a lot from his experience in Atlanta. And, hence the kind of the point I said earlier as far as having two former head coaches on his staff as well. So I think he learned a lot from his Atlanta experience and then now going forward with it. So, time will tell. Time will tell for sure.
Hey, 28-3 will make you learn a lot of lessons, I bet.
Hey man, that's on Cal. That's on Cal, bro.
I was gonna say a lot of that was Kyle wanting to throw the ball when they were running all over New England.
Hey, we seen Kyle give up 2 Super Bowls too.
Right.
Thank you, Kyle.
Right. Yeah, right. Let me thanking him.
Hey, trust me. Hey, Andy Reid is my favorite coach. My second favorite, Kyle Shanahan. Thank you, sir. Because you've been giving us parades out here in Kansas City. So thank you.
And I agree with Bottom Line Sports, where hey, when you got a team like the Washington Commanders who hasn't been to the Super Bowl since 1992, hey. Get us somewhere, we haven't won a playoff game since 2006.
Yeah, so, that's fair. That's fair. I hear you.
To be fair, the Commanders ain't never won a Super Bowl. The Redskins have.
Come on, man.
The Redskins.
All right now.
Wait. Hold on. We're splitting hairs because the name changes. Don't do that.
All right now.
You splitting hairs now because the name changes.
All right now.
Hey, that's slick. That's slick. I saw what you did there. Johnny, man. So 21st pick, first round. What are some of the things that you're kind of hearing, or what are the things that you're kind of feeling on which direction the Dolphins should go with that first pick in the first round at 21 overall?
Well, I mean, seeing as how we're losing half the squad, or at least that's how Dolphin fans will tell you that we're losing so many players today.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of holes on this team, to be quite honest. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, in my opinion, if you're gonna, because they're gonna re-sign Tua, like I mentioned, to Dolphin fans. So sorry to break your hearts. Like, this offensive line has to be dealt with. Robert Hunt is another free agent that we lost, our right guard. Mm-hmm. Our center Connor Williams got hurt midway through the season, tore his ACL. So we don't even know if they're going to re-sign him. So as of right now, Liam Eichenberg, who is not somebody that you want starting on your offensive line, started at center for us the last several games. So in my opinion, I think they need to go offensive line, although they haven't done a great job of drafting offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at somebody like the center from Oregon, Jackson Powers Johnson is a possibility. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talk about the tackle from Washington, Troy Fautanu. Tyler Guyton, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma, is another one. Graham Barton, who's the center from Duke, is a good interior offensive lineman, so they can go that way. I'm honestly of the opinion that I like to go into the draft and you take best player available. I think if you're a good coaching staff, even if it's a wide receiver or a corner or somebody, and you supposedly are stacked at that position, you can make it work if you're a good coach. You know what I'm saying? You'll use your players. So if there's a good wide receiver there, I think a number 3 wide receiver would be ideal for this Dolphin team. So that way everything's not Tyreek and Waddle. Mm-hmm. They signed Jonnu Smith, which I think was a big signing because the tight ends did absolutely nothing for us this season. We had 0 touchdowns from the tight end position this year. So I like that signing there, but I think ideally they'll go offensive lineman. If it was me, I would honestly, we don't have a 3rd or 4th round pick. So I would trade back and try to get a couple more picks if I can. But if I'm stuck there, I take best player available. Hopefully it's an interior offensive lineman that can help them out.
Nice. I like that strategy, man, because man, you when you bring up the fact that you don't have a 3rd and 4th round pick, you probably want to, if somebody wants to leap in front of you, you're like, hey, come and leap in, but we need like one of your 3rd rounders or your 4th rounders not.
Flo, all right, I gotta address this, and I got love for Flo. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you're still dealing with Dak Prescott, bro. So you know what I'm saying? I know you're quick to want to jump on the Tua hate and stuff like that, and I get it, but you know what I'm saying? Worry about your own house. You know what I'm saying? First, you know what I'm saying? When you still got Dak Prescott that you've had there for 7-8 years, and you still haven't done anything. So even though, like I said, I think Tua should play on his 5th-year option. Yeah. I still got to see more from Tua. But you know what I'm saying, he's always jumping in, talking about that we need to move on from Tua. But yeah, you still got Dak running your show.
Hey, we love Flo, man. He
absolutely got nothing but love for him. I just gotta address him.
The Cowboys' love is something else, man. They just go through that vicious cycle every year.
Yeah.
Cowboy love is blind.
Hey,
for real.
No, yeah, but hold on. It comes to a point that Cowboy love starts to become almost
delusional.
Yes, thank you.
Brian Burns, all right.
Brian Burns to the Giants. That's big. That's big.
That's
big money.
I feel you, Flo. I know you don't.
He said, "I don't want Dak.
I know you don't."
What? He said, "I don't want them to extend him." Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's probably the first rational thing you ever said about the Cowboys. Hey, I'll give you that. I'll give you that credit. So give me your ideal pick. Put your GM hat on, Johnny. What would be your dream pick at 21? Your dream pick, just off the top of the head, you'd be like, "Yo, I would love to have this guy."
I would love to. All right, at 21, if I can't move back and get more picks, I'm taking Brian Thomas, the LSU wide receiver, 6'3", 209, ran a 4.33. He's got the size that we need. Tyreek and Waddle are smaller, faster receivers. I mean, he still ran a 4.33 and he's 6'3", 209. We need a bigger body receiver that's not just a high point type player like Devontae Parker was and stuff like that. This kid can actually play on the outside, has the speed, and then you can move Tyreek around a lot more if you've got a stud like that on the outside. So if I'm taking the pick at 21, I'm making Brian Thomas, the LSU wide receiver, my pick at 21, and putting him with Tyreek and Waddle, and then Jonnu again at tight end, and then let's see how you stop that offense.
I ain't even gonna lie, Johnny. That'd be a deadly offense right there. That would be. Here's what I love about Brian Thomas. He's relatively new to the game of football. He started football late in high school. So if he's that good, getting first round looks, and he hasn't even had the experience like most of these other wide receivers playing since they was in Pop Warner and Pee Wee and middle school and high school and through college. Yo, that's a bad dude. That means he can learn quick and adapt because you talking about maybe 4 or 5 years of playing competitive football compared to maybe 12, like most guys who are in the draft. Like they've been playing since Pee Wee. So man, I love that.
So you got him learning from Tyreek and Waddle. You got him with one of the better wide receiver coaches in Wes Welker. So I would love that. I would love that pick. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of Dolphin fans are like, "No, we don't need a wide receiver." Yeah, we do, because there's nobody after Tyreek and Waddle. After that, you fall off a cliff. After that, as far as wide receiver production,
you make a good point right there. Because let's look at the Titans game. The moment that Tyreek went out that game, your offense went It went completely dead, and that was with Waddle still in the lineup. So it was like, what happened to the offense? It just totally disappeared. What's up, Rod? So I mean, I get your point of saying, hey man, there's nothing wrong with throwing more weapons at Tua to make sure that he has no excuse to not succeed. I don't think that's a bad strategy at all.
Absolutely. And I know, of course, offensive line, it is a must because you have to protect this kid. But the way Mike McDaniel designs the offense, it's designed for Tua to get the ball out quick. I think the whole 2,000-yard thing was honestly a detriment to the Dolphins because they were just force feeding Tyreek Hill all the time. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, even Waddle didn't go off like he possibly could have. So I think if it's a more balanced offense, and if you put a playmaker of Thomas's ability out there with his size, him, Tyreek, like I said, and then the Jonnu Smith, like I like the diversity in that wide receiver room. If you can add somebody of his with his size and speed is a good mix. And again, to learn from Tyreek and Waddle with Wes Welker as his coach, I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, that's a good pick. All right, Couch Coach. Hey man, the talk's been going crazy. What y'all gonna do in the draft? The talk's been going crazy. Y'all got the number 2 overall pick. All right, so you got it. You got his former coach, offensive coach at USC, as your OC down in the nation's capital, Kingsbury. Is that a true sign that Caleb Williams ends up in the nation's capital?
I don't think so. I think the price is gonna be too high to get Caleb Williams. I think it's at a point where, I love what Chicago is doing as far as not saying anything, and then that nothing, everything that happened in the combine with Caleb Williams, they're just are radio silent. So they already let you know that the price is gonna be up there. And I think, in my personal opinion, and I think to Caleb's. For him, I don't think he should go home. I think, this type of situation, unfortunately, with him, they will turn on him in an instant. He could be the hometown kid. We just seen this recently with Chase Young and God rest his soul, Dwayne Haskins. We've seen this story all too familiar, and I think for him personally, I don't think he should want to come here. I mean, obviously, you see out those two examples, but I just think the price could be too high. If you look at, as far as they're looking at maybe 2026 type of implication draft picks from 2026 potentially could be in play. And, especially with this team, like I said, we talked about the optimism, but this team's still going to need a first round pick, another starter in the 2025 draft. So why risk this? And I know, obviously, Mar, I know the whole, with the Andy Reid trading up to get Patrick Mahomes. This is a different ball game. This is where, versus that was already an established team at that point. Now you have so many holes on this team. You literally gonna probably give up maybe potentially 3 or 4 starters just for one guy. And we're not a burgeoning playoff team, to say the least. We're still a team that's still trying to grow and trying to get everything together. So it's too, like they say, it's too rich for my blood.
Well, because for me, I think whatever Chicago decides to do, whether they trade that number 1 pick or not, they don't seem sold on Justin Fields. So I think they take Caleb Williams regardless. Because and obviously with the tampering phase of the free agency now, I think that move probably gets made either between now and Wednesday on what they're going to do with Justin Fields. I mean, what's your thought on that?
And almost to a point, where can he go at this point? Because now the quarterback musical chairs are kind of is there, and he's going to be without a chair. I mean, we talked about Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. Russell Wilson went to Pittsburgh. Those are kind of the 2 spots that we thought was going to be in the best interest. And we thought Chicago was going to have a situation where they can kind of play it, where they can kind of up the price for Justin Fields because you want them. But now, who you can think now, I mean, maybe, you're thinking maybe trade within the division with Minnesota or maybe with the Vegas Raiders. I mean, there's only 2 other really conceivable spots for him to go. I mean, and it's to a point where they could just be sitting on him. And both of them could potentially be in the same room at this point, him and Caleb Williams. Because, I mean, where can he could potentially go at this point?
Dallas.
Well, they got Trey Lance. So that's another one where he's another like a project.
Couch. You said Trey Lance. Come on. Look. I like Trey.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you still got him sitting there though. You know what I'm saying?
I like Trey.
Right. It's eerily similar where you're gonna have him sitting, unfortunately, too. So it's like, and he's coming up on a 5th year. So it's like you're gonna have to pay this man next summer. So it's like.
Well, you got to make a decision. You
got to make a decision. Yeah. So, you can sit him all you want, but he going to get potentially $40 million next year, potentially.
Well, to Flo's point, you're sitting at the 2nd pick. I don't think you got to go all in to get Caleb Williams.
There's too many quarterbacks in this draft for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't get Caleb, then you get May. I still don't think you lose doing that.
I don't think Chicago's giving up Caleb Williams regardless. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
if I'm Washington,
right,
I'm not going all in for him.
No,
because you got like my man said, you got too many holes, and there's other quarterbacks out there. So
and then
especially
and then you look at it, and you look at this, even the difference between the two, where compared to when we got greedy in 2012, where you had Andrew Luck, RG3, and then the drop off was Ryan Tannehill. So yes, that's where you're like, okay, we might need to get. My bad, Johnny. My bad.
No, hey, it's all good, man.
My bad.
It's all good, bro. I was banging the table, praying that they didn't make that move and draft a former wide receiver.
And like you said, this quarterback class is a little bit like it's depth, where it's like you may have 1A. You might have a 1C or D, but they still one caliber. So,
Now, Flo, you saying Drake May ain't it? But here's my thing. I got question marks about Caleb Williams.
I do too.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm not a. Now, if you're looking at this quarterback draft, now go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say. I can probably pick a lot of things wrong with a lot of these quarterbacks that's coming out. There's no one that's really like that's the person right there. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But if you line them all up, there's not that much difference between each one. You might be able to say, okay, this one might have one or two attributes this one don't have, but it's not really like they're not really separated that far apart from each other. So in the Commanders' case, why go all in for one and you pick the next pick?
Yeah,
and you got too many holes. That's more my point than anything else. You know.
Yeah, it worked out for Houston last year too.
Right.
For nothing, they stood at 2 and wound up getting a better quarterback. It almost feels like there was so much hype for Caleb Williams. It's almost like Chicago has no choice,
right,
but to draft this kid because of all the hype that he's been getting for these last few years.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been of the mindset of keeping Justin Fields, continue to develop him, trade that pick, and then just build around this kid. You know what I'm saying? You got so many draft picks that you can actually give him a line. Take Marvin Harrison, and you got Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're actually starting to build something there. But it almost seems like the pressure and the media, like, they have to take Caleb Williams down. I don't think they can both be in the same room, though. I think, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to draft this kid, you got to get Justin Fields out of there. Vegas actually sounds like a reasonable one, considering, like you mentioned, the moves that happened today with Atlanta and Kirk Cousins, and Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson. So, I like Justin Fields. I mean, does he need to continue to develop? Yes, absolutely. But I think there's traits there you can work with. The draft is such an unknown, bro. All this talk about Caleb Williams, but who knows if he's actually going to be able to be that dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So your team's picking at 2. What would be your preference as far as the other 2 quarterbacks, the Drake May or Daniels?
I think to me, it probably would be Jaden Daniels. I think he fits in that Cliff Kingsbury scheme, and I love Drake. Obviously, I'm a UNC guy. He reminds me a lot of Mitchell Trubisky, and I say that respectfully, like, as far as, from that standpoint. Like, I like him. I like Drake, but like I said, I think Cliff Kingsbury, it would be more of a Jaden Daniels type. I think as far as somebody who's able to kind of, as far as get outside the pocket, almost like, what he's had before. You look at Kyler Murray, he's had Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech. He's had those kind of guys. Not saying that they're like that, but they're that same ilk. So you just look at it from that standpoint. But to me, I think he has to start a quarterback on his football team. Quiet as kept. Unpopular opinion, I think Sam Howell almost fits in that mold. But obviously around these parts, that's like taboo to say that Sam Howell should be the starting quarterback in 2024. But I mean, I'll be the one to say it. I'll be the one that say it with my chest out of my diaphragm, that I think Sam Howell actually should be the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders in 2024.
Yeah,
I agree with you, bro.
I agree, but I respect it.
You know what, Flo? I don't think there's that much of a separation between Caleb and everyone else, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because Caleb is, unfortunately, because his love for Lincoln Riley, I think is going to be detrimental to him. He literally left Oklahoma to follow him to USC, and look at what Lincoln Riley's offense has done in college football.
Yeah.
It hits walls against good defenses.
Right. I watched a lot of Southern Cal football last year. I seen some stuff out of Caleb that didn't look pro ready to me. There was a lot of times where he won some shootouts. There was a lot of times where he should have won a shootout and was throwing picks. Yeah. He made some bad decisions. He got under pressure and was throwing a lot of picks. Well,
Lincoln Riley does not run an NFL offense.
Right. That too. So, I mean, it's not to say he can't develop into it, because the skill level is there. The talent is there. It's not to say get on the right person, he can't be that player. But if you're looking at the rest of the quarterbacks that's out there, it's not that much difference. It's not a vast difference like what I think. What it is? It's a Dallas fan talking. I don't know why we even going down this road.
The reason why I went down that road is because I think a lot of people jump on the media bandwagon. Oh, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
But then we actually turn on the film and actually look at what he does. My man, Caleb Williams, literally is literally running and this is why I think Lincoln Riley will never be an NFL coach, because he's not running an NFL pro ready offense. There's a reason why he took that job from Oklahoma, which he was getting paid very handsomely to go to another college at USC and just got more money. He didn't name me an NFL franchise that was like, hey, man, I just have to have Lincoln Riley as my head coach. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen an NFL GM or owner say, I have to have Lincoln Riley as my head coach. Because they're looking at this offense, and guess what Lincoln Riley does each year? Now he'll put up numbers in the Big 12, in the Pac-12, against some sloppy defenses that ain't playing no defense. But what happens when he plays the Big 10 defenses, the SEC defenses? Boy, them defensive coordinators pick his ass apart, and they shut that offense down. And anything that he thought was going to be working, damn it, he gets the damn. Didn't we see Kyler Murray get them draws taken off his ass against Alabama? Didn't we see Caleb Williams? Yeah, we see Caleb Williams he hits walls. That offense hits walls against good defenses. I'm not sold on Lincoln Riley. And the fact that Caleb Williams been sitting under him for the last 3-4 years does not sell me that he's the ultimate, I gotta have that guy quarterback.
Right. Yeah, can I piggyback on that as well too? Now he also had Baker Mayfield, if you remember, you know what I'm saying. So he's developed Heisman Trophy winners in college, but if you notice when they get to the NFL, they take a few years to actually develop. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield is actually turning into a pretty good quarterback now in Tampa, and it's been 6 years or something like that. Kyler Murray never took a snap underneath the tackle. He was underneath the center. So it's going to take time for these quarterbacks to get used to the pro game, which again, why I have my hesitation about, getting rid of a Justin Fields, who's just working on, getting that down as far as being an NFL ready quarterback for another kid who's never played in a pro system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I have my question marks about that as well. So I'm with you on that.
Well, Flo, to Flo's comment, there's always an anomaly to
because you about to hit on it.
You know what I'm saying? There's always an anomaly to every situation. You can't point out one anomaly and just say, oh, well, because of this, that means my point ain't right. No, he's an anomaly.
Right.
He's an exception to the rule.
Not just anomaly.
I mean, you talking about Mahomes, which is a once in a lifetime talent you get every so often.
Where did he go, man? Where did he go?
He went to Andy Reid.
Thank you. Okay.
Who's a better coach, better system. So I mean, he was placed in the right situation. Not take away from his talent, but he was placed in the right situation. So you gotta factor all those things in. You can't just say Mahomes playing Texas Tech on the right. You can't just throw that out there and say that our statement ain't right. But like I always say, I will stamp mark this time. We'll revisit this, and when Caleb Williams is drafted and he ain't hitting no shit, remember I said
it. And I agree with your point, because if he would have been in the same situation as Michael McCorkle Jones and had Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as offensive coordinator, we would know who Patrick Mahomes is.
Wait, hold on. Wait, that's really his name is McCorkle?
Yes, that's his name.
Michael McCorkle Jones, yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's his name. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point there. I mean, and I never liked the comparison. I mean, you're talking about a generational talent in Patrick Mahomes. Like, people need to stop. I know they like to compare and stuff like that, but yeah, Baker Mayfield was the number one pick, and is he still with Cleveland? No, they shipped him out of there as soon as they could. Right. You know what I'm saying? And again, he's now starting to get his footing with Tampa, but it took him some time. Is all I'm saying. I don't see Caleb Williams just coming in and just taking over the league and stuff like that. Again, there's one Patrick Mahomes, man. That's it.
Wait, Mac Jones had first round. Wait, at Alabama?
Yes. At Alabama, yes, he did.
He had better wide receiver in Alabama than New England.
Now he back home in Jacksonville.
Kendrick Bourne?
Right.
Like, Kendrick Bourne, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. No, I don't know if he was around back then.
Yeah, he had Miami's leftovers, so that should tell you a lot. Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I mean, but and like you guys mentioned, situation has a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you talk about Mahomes going to Andy Reid, one of the best offensive minds, in football history. Mac Jones, for all you want to say about him, yeah, he went to New England, had a decent year, and then Bill Belichick decided to have 2 defensive coordinators run the offense for whatever reason. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And even you mentioned him going to Jacksonville. That's another one. Trevor Lawrence, all the praise about, Mr. Sunshine being the next, God's gift to the quarterback position. Now, the first year under Urban, I get it. That was just a cluster that was going on there. You know what I'm saying? But he had a decent year his second year under Doug Peterson, but then this last year, I know he had some injuries, but his production was way down this third year. So again, even the no doubt, guys, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see Caleb Williams to me is not Andrew Luck. He is not Peyton Manning. He is not John Elway. He's not like that. No doubt about it. This guy is gonna be that dude. Like, not to me anyway.
And to your point, Flo. No, I don't think no one saying that Caleb Williams is not a talented quarterback. I think the point is that when you saying earlier that he's there and everybody else is way far away from him, I think that's a falsehood. I don't think that's a correct statement. I think we can argue the first 5 quarterbacks coming off the draft. We can argue for them being one of the better quarterbacks. Either way. That's all I'm saying. It's not that much of a difference. Where if somebody say Drake May was, I'd be like, okay, let me hear your argument. I ain't gonna automatically say, oh, you wrong. Somebody say that it's Jalen Daniels, let me hear your argument. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you can make an argument for each one. That's the only point we're saying, Flo. I ain't saying that Caleb Williams is not a good quarterback.
I can make an argument for Jalen Daniels over Caleb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Yeah. That's my point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not no one saying that Caleb is not a good quarterback, but when you put them all together, you can make an argument for each one.
Right.
That's the bigger point, I think.
Yeah. It's like we said earlier, where there's like, as far as between Caleb and the other prospect, there's not a big of a drop off. They're almost like we said, it's 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D.
Right.
Right. So it's
All right, Couch, put your GM hat on, my brother. Put your GM hat on.
All right.
What you gonna do with second overall? What you gonna do?
Hey,
what would be your dream pick? As in, I gotta have this guy in a Washington Commanders jersey.
I am no Adam Peters, but I am a couch coach. So my what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with Marvin Harrison Jr. I think if I would get him, I think considering the fact, like as I mentioned earlier, I think we have the quarterback in place in Sam Howell. And I know people say, this man almost had 4,000 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, and 21 interceptions. I know he led the league in interceptions, but hey, he's not a bust, as many people say around this area. So I think if you couple him, you obviously we'll probably be losing Curtis Samuel in the offseason. He's an unrestricted free agent. So you think to yourself, you got 2 guys on, 2 Ohio State guys, and Terry McLaurin on one end, then Marvin Harrison on the other. Then you got Jahan Dotson there. So you look at those situations. You look at Terry and Marvin; they command a double team. So it's at a point somebody's going to eat off this offense, and you look into yourself. So to me, it would be Marvin Harrison Jr. without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. And like you said, and this kind of almost similar in Detroit Mill. You probably would almost agree with the sentiments where the years when you was drafting wide receivers and you finally got it right in Calvin Johnson. Right. And that's why I look at from this situation. We're not saying that we drafted bad wide receivers, but when you got a guy like that, regardless of what's going on, this the best fit for us. So I think, to me personally, I know they're gonna go to the quarterback, but if it was up to me, I would get Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure.
Yeah. Hey. My thing is, what's wrong with to a situation? There's nothing different for Sam Howell. Give him some weapons. See what happens.
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, you never know what can happen with a quarterback until you actually get the lead.
And you got new coaching in there, so that plays a part too.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And he's a 5th round pick. So to me, you're getting great value. Like that's why that's what kills me about people. Like, he's a 5th round pick, and he had that type of production, and you get that for the next couple of years without paying him. Like, this is ideal. This is almost like a Brock Purdy situation in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on the Sam Howell bandwagon with you, Coach. For real, I like Sam Howell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, so I saw Sam Howell put it on us a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So the kick can play, man. Yeah, actually get him an offensive line, and you mentioned you put Marvin Harrison, like you mentioned, with with Jahan
Terry?
Dotson and Scary Terry. That's a pretty nasty threesome right there, wide receivers.
Wait, hold on. No,
No,
Scary Terry is not a bad wide receiver. Don't say that.
Yeah.
No, he's
Right.
not.
No.
He's a good wide
Bro,
receiver.
I would love to have Scary Terry on my team. I promise you, Scary Terry is a legit wide receiver.
Come on, man. I think you good. I think you good, bro. I think you
Right.
good.
I know. Hey,
I always want every crowd. I just want to get everybody.
Hey, so,
Hey, no, I'm just giving props to how good Scary Terry is, and that I would love to have him on my team.
Just bag up. You got enough Super Bowls. Be quiet.
Hey,
he's just saying that now because he already know we come to Texas Stadium. It's a wrap. Like we come in with Terry and Marvin. Oh my gosh! Like it's done. Right.
Hey, and your former defensive coordinator.
Right.
Yo, he gonna read Mike McCarthy his rights on the way in, bro.
Dude, even little Aiden know what's up with Terry McLaurin. He was even talking about Terry McLaurin. It was like,
I love it.
my dad got cooked by Terry McLaurin. Little Aiden know. Even little Aiden know about Scary Terry, dog.
hey, Scary Terry been cooking y'all too. But anyway, hey man, this has been a phenomenal show, man. Hey, like I said, we're gonna keep planning all the way up to the draft every Monday and Thursday. Get some guys in here who create content, talk about certain NFL teams, get y'all ready for the draft, and of course, just kind of rehash the previous season and what was going down in this free agency frenzy. But hey, Couch Coach Johnny Cruz, man, we appreciate y'all fellas. Johnny, go ahead, let the people know one more time where they can find all your content at, my brother.
You can find me all over the Let's Talk Sports Network. Aqua and Orange Insights, my Miami Dolphins show is every Monday at 7:30. On Tuesdays, it's Pinstripe Perspective Inside the Yankees. I talk baseball on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. And every Monday and Thursday, the Let's Talk Sports Show, Monday and Thursday nights at 9 o'clock, and all the social media platforms at the Yankee Fan.
Shut your ass. I can't with Mel, man. Shout out to man.
We're not talking basketball, man.
We ain't talking basketball, man. Chill out. Hey, Couch Coach, man, tell the people where they can find you at, my dog.
Yeah, pretty much social media podcast, Couch Coach Live. We'll be back on Wednesday, March the 20th at our regular scheduled time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday nights at 8. Also, the website, couchcoachlive.com. Also, social media, Couch Coach Live, pretty much Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all that. So, Couch Coach Live. Yes,
no
indeed.
doubt, man. Again, appreciate you fellas for taking the time out, chopping it up with us, man. I can spell feetball too. And man. Hey, there it is. You heard what they had to say. Johnny Cruz representing the Miami Dolphins, Couch Coach representing the Washington Commanders. Hey, they gave y'all some good, thoughts and things to think about on what's going on with their teams in respect to free agency as well as the upcoming draft. Hey, y'all can tap in with us. Y'all know where to find us, I.O.W Sports Network, Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. All the information is at the bottom of the screen. Wildcard Mar, Detroit Mail. Shout out to the big homie Nick Shine. We up out of here, man. It's been real. Peace and love.
Peace.